Hello, guys. How are you? I just want to make sure that everyone can hear us. So can you raise your hand or give us a thumbs up that you can hear us properly? Because we have to speak a little low because we're at the Maker Hotel. Good. Everyone can hear. How are
All
you?
right, perfect. We're so happy.
So we're here at the gorgeous Maker Hotel in Hudson. I just want to take a nap at this chair right now. It's so beautiful. There's a
By the fireplace
fireplace.
going on. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God,
So
so comfy.
So we have 20 minutes and we're going to give you a bunch of tips on non-toxic design. But Santi, since he's very tall, is going to give a little tour with his with the Mac on the space that we're in because it's so beautiful.
Should we start then?
Yeah, go give the tour.
My God, this is one of our favorite spots to come to when we come to New York and work in this area. Dara and I enjoy being at this hotel because it's a gorgeous place. It's so wonderfully designed. It's so warm and cozy. But one of my favorite areas is this space called in Europe an orangery, which is like an interior garden. And it's the perfect example of biophilia, which is bringing nature into your spaces. And this is one of my favorite spots of the hotel. It's so vivid and it's got natural light. And Deborah is in love with this flower arrangement. It looks so unreal.
Okay, so this is a good place to start because Santi mentioned biophilia, and that is bringing nature into your spaces. So part of healthy design, of course, is having a very positive energy to your spaces. And of course, nature, as most of us know by now, is a very positive thing to bring into your space, right? So we were here while they were arranging this, the woman, the floral designer, and it's just gorgeous. And we were just looking at this for probably 10 minutes or so because it's so beautiful. So if you have the opportunity, even putting a plant in a space, a little herb, anything, even if you live in an apartment in the city without any real light, find something that doesn't need light, some sense of nature in your space. And that is one really great thing to put into any space that you have. So
it doesn't even have to be flowers. I do a lot of arrangements at my house. One of my favorite things to do it is just with leaves, green leaves, and just all sorts of different leaves. And you can make a beautiful flower arrangement and collect them from the park, or you can steal them from your neighbor.
Right, exactly. You could do that. So
we're going to share with you important topics, how to create a safe and healthy home. So we're going to start with one of my favorite topics, which I think is in every single room of a house, which is textiles.
Fabrics. To the layman, fabrics. Hold on, I have some notes here. So let's start with fabrics. When we talk about textiles and fabrics, we're going to think of it as an overall generic theme. So it's fabric not only for your sofa, for your kitchen, for
draperies,
it's for
linen.
It's for your bedroom, it's for your child's nursery, for your toddler's room. So fabrics, for example, the average sofa has about 25 yards of fabric. Of that fabric, approximately 35 pounds of that fabric are pure chemicals.
Scary.
Right?
Very scary.
30% of a fabric's weight is chemicals, which is just insane and legal. There's over 80,000 chemicals that are used in the textile industry, and most of them, believe it or not, have even been checked or approved by the industry. They're completely toxic. So check your fabrics. Hold on, our phones and everything are going off like crazy here. Hang on one second.
Why don't we talk and tell them what GOT certification is and how to read the labels and how to pay attention to what's the origin of the fabrics.
Okay, so in other words, so you know now that fabrics can be very, very toxic. So how do you know which ones are not toxic? So certifications are super important. So there's two certifications, and if you follow us, I mean, I'm always talking about these certifications. There's the GOT certification and there's the OCATEC certification.
Which is the European version of certification.
This is super scary. Do you think Green Guard? Okay, we'll get into Green Guard Gold certification. So you want to look for me, the GOT certification is like the best certification there is. It stands for the Global Organic Textile Standard. These fabrics go through very, very stringent approvals. And you always want to try, to me, like the most perfect fabric in the world is a God certified organic cotton, because you can't get any cleaner than that. And remember, you're never going to get perfectly clean. You're going to do the best you can. And remember, you're doing better than most, because most people don't even think of these things. So you want to surround your family, your loved ones, yourself, and things that are as chemical free as possible, as non-animal based as possible. You know that I'm a vegan decorator. And I do that because not only for my love of animals, but my love of people, my love of child laborers, my love of the forest, and also for our own health, because animal-based textiles have much more chemicals, many more chemicals than non-animal based. So you want to look for GOTS certification, and you want to look for the second best one is called Okiotex. It's still the weirdest, like sounding and spelling. It's
Well,
like
that's the European certification of it. So it's like the European version of the same thing, but
right. They probably say like Okiotex, something beautiful, right? They make it sound great. So that one is also a good certification. It's just not as strict as the Global Organic Textile Standard. Green Guard is also, it's good. It's better than not having a certification.
at all, yeah.
I have my issues with that certification, but it's better.
Remember, it's not perfection. We just have to improve and get better each day as we go along. So
Right.
it's like try to implement some of this knowledge that we're going to get today. And
Right.
go slow at it, like.
Now there's two labels that I literally want to pull my hair out of my head that I see. And one of them is responsible wool and the other is responsible leather. So let's just talk about that for a second. Responsible wool, there's no such thing. Wool.
What's so responsible about killing an animal and putting it into tannery with all these chemicals?
No.
I mean, like,
Over
it's crazy.
Over 250 chemicals are in leather, arsenic, chromium, lead. So a responsible leather certification doesn't even make sense because they've killed the animal in the most horrific way. And there's nothing responsible about it for the animal or for the person who now has a sofa with leather. Because remember, those chemicals don't just dissipate. They don't go away.
Remember that our skins absorb anything. I mean, we breathe through our skin. So we're always absorbing what we touch or we're smelling and all the vapors that we're inhaling constantly.
So leather is a horrible skin to use. You don't want to use leather at all. And wool is the same. There's tons of pesticides in wool. And also it's a terrible industry. There is nothing ethical about it. The sheep are treated so poorly. It's I can't even.
It's painful.
Yeah, I can't even.
When you watch videos or whatever, it's just so painful.
So getting a wool rug, for example, for your baby is ridiculous because babies especially are crawling. They're licking, they're touching, so they're mouthing a rug. Most of the time when they're infants, they're mouthing everything. So there are tons of pesticides in that wool. So please stay away from any of those labels that you see: responsible wool, responsible leather, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what's next on our list?
We have wallpaper.
Okay, wait, you went too far ahead. Hold on, wait.
I know it is wallpapers.
Okay, all right, we'll do wallpapers. All right. Okay. Oh, wait, let's go show the mural over there. Speaking of wallpapers.
Look at this beautiful mural.
Okay.
Here we
go. Here we go.
Look at this mural. This is like an amazing mural.
Okay, this was a custom mural made for the hotel. It is so beautiful. And talk about biophilia. Look at that. It's a nature scene. Okay. So wallpapers, not all wallpapers are created equal. You want to find a wallpaper that PVC free. A lot of wallpapers still contain a lot of vinyls. And believe it or not, a lot of them are still contain flame retardants, which makes me feel like we're in 1950, but some of them do. You want to go for natural. Try to find natural dyes. Anything natural, organic. Again, if it has any kind of certifications, ooh, they're coming back. See how pretty it is here? Beautiful.
We just love displays.
Okay. So with wallpapers and the same thing, stay away from silks, stay away from leather wallpapers, leather wallpaper tiles. I just want to see if there are any more questions. Which hotel are we in? We're in the Maker Hotel in Hudson. So Be careful with your wallpapers. Again, go natural. Like I love grass cloths. I love anything that's very natural and organic. And again, always check, make sure, ask
Read
questions.
labels, do your homework. I mean, today with Google, we can find anything. Ask your vendor, what's the origin, what type of chemicals, what's the process, who manufacture, what countries it manufacture from, so you can understand about the footprint and how far it's brought from. I mean, is it made in the US, is it made in Asia, who makes it or whatever. So be proactive, read reviews. There's a lot of information out there. Be proactive.
Be curious, be curious, be curious. And, I know it's time consuming. It's funny, like,
But we've got to be responsible. I mean, this every decision that we make as buyers or whatever affects everybody, the manufacturer, the distributor. So our decisions not only affect us, our family, our loved ones, it affects the entire planet.
I always say we're all connected, and every penny you spend, you have the power to control things in life and to help and to be healthy and safe and take care of other people.
It's a way of living.
Exactly. So, you have to be, the one thing that I know is it can be very annoying, which is why people hire designers, because we do all the back end work. That sometimes we can spend searching for wallpaper for a client can sometimes take us days. Right.
Just a few days
Before we find that one paper, because it's not only about the aesthetic of the paper, but it's about the health of the paper. And we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our client. And most salespeople or most reps don't
even know about the glues or the manufacturer, what type of tints or inks or process and finishing the product has.
Okay, I'm just keep checking for questions, guys, because I see the things coming up. Anything to look out when you're thrifting textiles, buying secondhand?
Oh, that's a great topic about secondhand.
Yeah, well, we are now becoming pros at vintage shopping, and I'm so into it, Vanessa, like I can't stop it. So I am on first dibs and cherish like till 2 in the morning. And plus in this area, there's so many.
Every time we travel or whatever, we just go to every thrift store or antique store or whatever. Although Deborah is more classical and a bit more contemporary, I have a little bit more of a problem finding out the right pieces because I'm more contemporary. Deborah is more classical. So vintage shopping is perfect for her projects and some of the pieces that I use.
And as far as the health and the toxins in vintage pieces, I mean, I think there's two trains of thought. And honestly, Vanessa, I don't know the real answer to this. Some of the pieces are so old that you would think that a lot of the chemicals have dissipated. However, I always think of the Titanic when they found the leather pieces in the Titanic that had been in the water for over 75 years. The leather pieces were still intact. So I don't have the right answer for that. As far as ethical, though, I feel that obviously it's recycling. So I think it's a wonderful thing to buy vintage pieces because also they have a beautiful story to them, which is so part of design, because again, it's about bringing that energy into your spaces, right? Because energy is so real. And so to buy something that has a cool story to it is terrific. You're also helping the environment by reusing something. As far as the chemicals, I'm not sure about that yet. I read so much about it and I don't know.
But it's also a question of energy, recycling is also about like saving the planet and not throwing or wasting things on the garbage and kind of like, and they have a story, I should say, they have a story. So it's like spaces have to speak to you and where you got, and you're always going to remember how you got that chair, how you brought it into your car, how you put it, how you took it to the shop to be fixed and how you picked up the fabric. So it's a conversation piece as well. And it gives a lot of character to any room.
Yes.
So,
and I think even in a very modern space, it's beautiful.
I always had a touch of something that is vintage or reclaimed or rewood or reused. Yeah.
Because you also want to walk into a space and you don't want it to look like a set. You see a lot of homes that, especially magazines and these glossy magazines, I always say, like when we're doing a nursery and someone says, I want to have this nursery. And I always say, well, that nursery took 3 days to set up in a camera shoot. And there is nothing at all that is practical about that nursery.
It looks beautiful, but it doesn't work.
Right. You want practicality, no matter what. You want to be in
functionality before aesthetics. Aesthetics is the easy part of our project. Of our decisions, but what takes us to investigate and to kind of really look for healthy items and to be environmental friendly is harder. So we do the homework. And
you want to look for durability. I think durability, no matter who you are, is very important.
Maintenance.
maintenance. Our lifestyle nowadays is much more casual. I think as the United States, especially, we're much more informal people. So you want to find things that are more durable, which is sometimes, which we can talk about now, when you're choosing fabrics, for example, when we're choosing healthier fabrics, sometimes they're not as durable because they're not treated with a bazillion chemicals. So there are products, the nano spray that I tout all the time that you can get on Amazon. It's a great stain protector and it's completely chemical free. It's replaced Scotch Guard, which I would never use anyway, because that's all chemicals. But now you can buy a really delicate cotton or linen and spray it with this stuff. And it really, really repels stains, which is great, because going cleaner and healthier is a little bit more challenging in that aspect. However, as I also say, you know, when you're surrounding yourself in a healthy environment, right? Hopefully you're not getting sick and you're going to be going to the doctor a lot less. So you're saving there, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's one and the other.
Let's jump into another topic, which I think is important,
Mhm.
running a little bit out of time.
Mhm.
Let's jump into mattresses and pillows, which are also components that are important to take in consideration. What is your feeling about it? I mean, you have investigated a lot about mattresses and
Mhm.
foam and rubber and all the
Mhm.
fillers. So just share with them your knowledge about mattresses and decorative pillows and fillers.
Okay, I will. And then Vanessa, I'll get back to you on greenwashing. Vanessa had a question about that. So mattresses and pillows. Okay, we're talking about chemicals. We're talking about off-gassing, VOCs, which everyone, you know, a lot of people are hearing about, you know, buying paints with no VOCs, no off-gassing. VOCs stand for volatile organic compounds. There's natural VOCs, which plants and animals produce, and plants produce natural VOCs to communicate
Okay,
with one another. But we humans have produced VOCs that are man-made, and they're called anthropomorphic or something like that, that I forget how to say it, but whatever.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary and very, very dangerous. So there's over 90 chemicals, I believe, included in the category of volatile organic compounds. Paints carry them, mattresses, pillows, furniture, kids' toys carry them. Almost everything has VOCs nowadays. So you want to make sure that I always think about it like the larger pieces in your homes and the ones that you spend a lot of time on, like the family room couch, right? Most of us live on that couch. Our bed,
Where we sleep.
right?
I mean, we spend 10 hours a day.
Right, a third of our life,
Okay,
roughly.
Yeah. So mattress and sheets and bed linens or whatever are key to any health environment.
Right, the bedroom, the family room. The bedroom is the number one. If you're on a budget and you need to start somewhere. So
There it is.
right, start there, right? So what you want to do is you want to look for things that are not made from foam, because I don't care what you say, even a Pure certified foam mattress or pillow is still very dangerous. It's got a lot of off-gassing. You want to stay with things that are as organic and non-animal based as possible. There are mattress companies out there. There are pillows out there. There's new pillows. You can get cotton fill. You can get buckwheat fill. There's rubber fill. There's all different kinds.
What do you think about? You haven't talked about feathers and down.
Okay, well, you know what? There's not enough time. We have 20 minutes.
We can talk about that for half an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So stay away from volatile organic compounds. Okay, when you're looking for pillows and mattresses, and also down. Down is the same thing. The down industry is horrific, just as bad as wool, just as bad as leather. Anything animal based is horrific. Down also the feathers, like feather pillows,
Are chemically treated.
chemically. Again, you can't have something that's taken from a living being and just have it sitting there and not rot, right? Just like our scabs, right? You take off, it's rotten. So it has to be treated with chemicals. That's the only way it's going to stay intact. And again, I cannot repeat enough, those chemicals don't just go away. So imagine your little toddler sleeping on a down pillow. All those chemicals are coming through, and at night, our body warms up when we're sleeping. We repair ourselves at night. We're a machine. So that's why sleep is so important, getting a good night's sleep. Our body's repairing itself. So if you're surrounding yourself in a space with all these chemicals, you're not repairing yourself and you're making yourself sick.
Let's go to paints, wall paints and all that, which is a huge decision that I have to really study and consider when you're
Mhm.
selecting the paint.
So paints, we also want no VOCs or low VOCs, just like we were talking about with mattresses and beds. So there are a lot of paint companies now that are carrying low VOCs, right?
Fine Paints of Europe, Faro and Ball, Echo, and even Benjamin Moore has a
Benjamin Moore
line.
has the Eco Spec, which we used in my daughter's space,
Space,
in
yeah.
her place. We
In our
used
place,
it.
yeah.
It goes on beautifully. Again, they're a little more expensive. Well, fine paint, what's it called? Fine paint, say it's a bit.
Fine Paints of Europe.
Yeah, Fine Paints of Europe is gorgeous.
Follow them, they're great. The colors and just the quality of it is just amazing.
And they have an eco-friendly paint now. Before they didn't, but now they do. So you also, now lime paints are becoming very popular again. And lime paints are what they use in Europe. All the walls are lime and they're natural, completely natural. It's a very aged, beautiful look, right?
Gorgeous. It warms up and it's got a lot of character.
Wait, let me see. I want you to explain also the orangery, but I just want to answer Vanessa.
Greenwashing, I
Right,
think it's a
if you're
very
refer-
important topic that someone
Yeah.
asked us about greenwashing, which is very common in today's industry. And it deceives you of making the right decision.
Right, so greenwashing is like someone saying like, here's these cotton sheets that we sell and no sheep were harmed. Well, of course, sheep weren't harmed because
Because
they're
there's no
cotton,
wool.
right? So they say that 95% of companies greenwash, which is just false advertising. They're pretending to be ethical, environmentally sound, so on and so forth, but they're not. It's just false marketing. And again, it's what Santi says. You want to really, really look and really be curious and really delve into things before making decisions. Think about every purchase you make. Take your time. Don't rush into buying things. We have to finish soon. Don't rush into buying anything. Take your time, research, look, understand your purchases because you're bringing them into your most sacred space, your home. You want your spaces to be healthy and clean for you and your family. And again, all these little tips we gave you are for all spaces in your home. For the
All
nursery,
areas,
yeah.
yeah, all areas of the house. So hope you have enjoyed it.
Wait, I don't want to end yet. I want you to explain an orangery again to them because it's such a cool concept and maybe go show them.
Okay, the orangery
bye,
is
guys.
something
He's
that's
gonna
very
show you.
typical in Europe, especially in France in the 17th century or 18th century. So what they did is that they to have a winter garden. So what they did is architectural extensions of kind of like greenhouses, and during the winter they would warm it up with fireplaces, and they would have basically a lot of fruits. So like what was famous were the orange trees that were kept during the winter. That's why they're called the orangery. And this is a beautiful orangery that always inspires me. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's that.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
Right. If you have any questions or any notes, and we'll get back to you.
If you have any questions, actually, you can post them on our Facebook group, Design for Non-Toxic Design, okay? And then we can answer them. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Nice seeing you.